Hey YouTube, it's your boy Richie here, coming at you with some more Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition. And I'm going to be continuing with the casting for the EPL, ESOC's Premier League Season 4. This is now Week 2, and I've selected a game here between Kaiserklein and Optimus. Now, Kaiserklein is on the Mandarin Duck squad, and Optimus is from the Hudson Bay Bigs. So they are the two teams that are fighting against each other in this week. And as I mentioned before in my previous video, the one between Olivezza and Happy Cat, I believe, is that I want to be selecting sort of interesting matchups, interesting players, well-known players, and just see what goes down. And I found this game because Kaiserklein is well known for his French. It's one of his best sort of civilizations, and he's just an absolute VIP amongst the AoE3 community. He's played the game since the start, and he's been well known throughout Legacy and sort of been seen as one of the best players in history. And he is going to be going against Optimus. So on the right here we have Kaiserklein playing as the French in the cyan. On the left part of the map we have Optimus playing as the Chinese in the pink. Now, an interesting matchup here, and I've got to say China favoured, I would say, in this matchup. France do struggle against China here because France struggle to punish the Fast Fortress, and the Fast Fortress is one of the best strategies for China. Right now it's like the meta for China. There are H2 plays that you can do with them, FI plays and stuff like that, but the FF seems to be the way forward. So let's have a look here at the quick decks. So we have Kaiserklein's here. Pretty standard deck, to be honest. There's no obviously kind of native play here. No sort of royal house rushing with the musketeers or anything like that. We see a pretty standard deck all round. We do have the Wilderness Warfare, a nice card there for native warriors, but probably not going to see that. Just a really standard deck, to be honest. This is a really good deck, guys. If you want to play France on any land map, I would just pick this deck. It's very, very good. Okay, let's have a quick look at Optimus here. Let's have a look at his deck and see if this is kind of standard. We do see on H3 here the Manchurian, the Manchus, and the Iron Troops. We have both of them in here for H3, which is kind of interesting. Some people switch them, some people don't have them at all, and sometimes people have both of them. So that's interesting to see. Also something as well is the Rattan Shields for 500 coin. That's an interesting card. Along with the good old new army here. Look at this one. Chukanus transform into Arquebusiers, and the Qiang Pikemen go to the Changdao Swordsman. So this is another kind of unusual card that I don't normally see. So an interesting deck here. Quite an all-rounder deck. Could be used for H2 play as well as H3. I don't think we're going to see that. Let's have a look at Optimus's build at the moment. He's gone for a TP. And he's obviously gone for the good old French cons. This is a really well-known thing now. Before, we used to have the Russian consulate where you'd go for the blockhouse and you'd use that to defend, and then you'd probably use that to go ahead and help yourself age up into H3. But now we see the French cons where you get the food shipment. You get 400 food, I believe, or something crazy like that very early on to help you get into age 2. And we can see now he's actually going for the porcelain tower. This is interesting, actually. This might be a little bit different to what I think is going to be happening. So the porcelain tower, we normally see this around this kind of between age 1 and age 2. The porcelain tower being used here sort of says to me that there might be some age 2 play. I am quite interested because normally the porcelain tower is an option when you go from 2 to 3, not from when you go from 1 to 2. So it's going to be very interesting. He is going to be grabbing himself a treasure on the top left part of the map. Let's have a quick look back at good old Kaiserklein here, opening up with a stables, sort of standard stable opening here for French. He's gone for the 3 CDBs and then the 4 CDBs. So really cementing himself on that eco. And yeah, it just seems like a standard kind of potential semi-FF maybe. He's getting his steel traps in. And of course, he's opened up the game with a training post. So yeah, pretty standard. He's going to actually be nabbing this juicy little treasure here. 55 food. That's really, really nice. Okay, so he's going to be nabbing that treasure. He actually hasn't got it. His explorer's wandered off and he actually hasn't got the 55 food. That's kind of a little bit awkward there for Kaiserklein. The age up has now come in for Optimus. And what is he doing? He's going for the 7 step riders. Now, normally when I see the 7 step riders, the immediate thing that comes to mind is that after that, you go for 700 coin and you go for a kind of semi-FF age up. But normally that doesn't include the porcelain tower. So it's very interesting to see. Now he's gone for a War Academy. This says to me that we are going to be seeing some Age 2 play here from Optimus. It's unusual that you do go ahead and build a War Academy this early on if you're going for the FF. So let's see how this one plays out. He's got a lot of vills on wood and food here. Not too sure what the plan is here. I don't know if he's going to get some veal. He's got quite a lot of gold backed up here, to be honest. And now the 5 Huss are going to be coming in from Kaiserklein. And he has got that Grove Rickshaw trying to scout, but that one Step Rider is going to put an end to that. And we can see the Step Riders are not going to trade very well here against the Hussar. 7 Step against 5 Hussar is never going to work out, so you're going to need something else. And what do we see? We see another unit shipment here coming in from Optimus, 9 Kiang Pikemen, and now we have the standard army underway. And it looks like the Porcelain Tower is actually on food. So that's 3 food a second, which is kind of like nearly sort of 3 vills, you could say, that he's now got on food. And now he's going for a few market tax. Let's have a look at Kaiserklein here. He is getting another batch of Hussars out, and that's going to be met here. Is Optimus going to see this? He is not. He needs to get out of there, otherwise he's going to be losing a few Step Riders. One of them's going to be going. Definitely a second one's going to be going down here. Yep, there it goes. And a third. So that's really good for Kaiserklein. Optimus not being 100% on the ball there. Unfortunately, you're going to be losing it, but he's going to try and get his Kiang Pikemen stuck in here. How much damage is he going to be able to do? You're always going to be able to get a snare on a couple of them, which is fantastic to see. We do see 8 crossbowmen now coming out for Kaiserklein, and he's basically just going food and gold now. Looks like he is cementing himself into Age 2 as well. We can see he's got a barracks as well, and he's getting pretty much just Musk Huss right now, and he is not thinking about the age up. And he's just going to pile the Hussars in here, but he's going to pull a few of them away, doing a nice little micro trick there, so the crossbowmen can try and pick them off. Step Rider's going to try and come around the back here to deal with the crossbowmen, but unfortunately they're not going to be successful. I've got to say, Kaiserklein is one of the best at micro. He did a huge series back in the day on Legacy, which was called Time to Micro. He did like a series of explaining how to micro different units and different battles and stuff like that. So he is one of the gods of micro, so you've got to be very careful against him. He can get serious value out of any kind of unit. So let's see how that works against Optimus here. We can see that he's got 3 Hussar shipment coming in. He's got a gang saw as well, so he's probably thinking maybe for going for a few more crossbowmen, potentially. And Optimus here, no sign of aging up at all, has basically gone for 3 unit shipments here, and he is really doubling down into Age 2 as well. So he's got 24 vills, Kaiserklein on 24 as well, but he does have CDBs. Remember, they are better than normal villagers, so his eco is slightly better, but Optimus does have the Porcelain Tower to help him at the moment, so that's quite good for him as well. Now we do see 700 coin coming in, so probably going to be thinking about that transition. And he is going for some wood crates from the French consulate now, and I believe that's 500 wood. That's pretty insane, by the way, guys. The French cons is nuts. It can really, really help you in a pinch when you need some resources. And it also improves your gather rate of your vills by like 5%, I believe. It's kind of crazy. So I don't think Optimus wants to really engage here, to be honest. He's probably thinking about aging up. He doesn't want to fully commit. He doesn't want to lose his mass here. Kaiserklein looking very good. Score looking decent as well for him. 2k above in score. Look at all the cav that he's got. He's going to be able to just delete the majority of this army. You know, China really struggle with Euro cav. They struggle with Hussars. Even when they've got Kiang Pikemen, they struggle. And you can see here, Kaiserklein not really too worried about the 4 or 5 pike. He's just going to get stuck in. Also, the Chukanus are not going to really do much against the Hussars as well. And he's just going to get straight on top of Optimus's army here. The Hussars, once again, the Muskas comp guys. It's one of the best right now. Hussars just carving through. And that is quite, you know, concise there. We do see the age up macro here for Optimus. He's ready to get into Age 3, but there's the GG. Oh my god. Okay, as I say, guys, I cast these games blind, so this is very interesting for me. It's a very interesting play from Optimus, to be honest. I don't understand. I don't know whether he was just unlucky that he got his army caught out there. I'm not too sure why he committed to that fight, to be honest. And he was pretty good there. He's got a bit of wood here. He could have got another village, so he could have got some He could have got like a Changdao shipment. I don't know what he would have aged up with. Maybe the Confucian Academy, so he would have got some arquebusiers potentially. Yeah, I don't really know what happened there. I think if he didn't lose his army and he played a little bit more defensive, he could have been potentially okay. Who knows? An interesting one here, but I thought this was China favoured, this matchup. But it looks like, guys, if you play as French and you're against China, just play in H2, Mass, Huss, and Musk, and just jam them in and just prevent your opponent from getting to H3. And if he does, make sure you punish him. That's all I can pretty much say on this. But there we go, guys. That is it. Short and sweet. Probably 10 minutes, no more than that. I hope you enjoyed this quick cast between Kaiserklein and Optimus. One of the games on the EPL, ESOC's Premier League. It's Season 4 right now, and this is in Week 2. Currently, when this video is released, we are currently in Week 3 at the moment. So I will be selecting a few games from Week 3 in the future, and you'll be seeing a few of those getting casted as well. So I hope you really enjoyed this. I hope you learned something from this as well. If you're playing French or China, these guys are some of the top tier, the creme de la creme of players. So I hope you've learned something, and as always, please let me know down in the comments below what you thought about this, and of course I will catch you in the next video or the next stream. Catch you later, guys. Bye.